OK, our first guest has had a right year of it on EastEnders. Since her partner on the square died last Christmas, she's had to carry on as a single mum, looking after a daughter with a drug problem, and is now contending with the arrival of her drug addict ex, Lucas. However, it seems he's turned over a new leaf, and Denise has once again fallen under his spell.
You never were exactly the domestic type boy. Ah! Ow!
You okay?
Do I look okay? Well, don't just sit there. Do something, will you? I'm very hygienic.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Oh, I don't know. Usually when
Hey, look, it's only a small cup.
Oh, yeah, that's easy.
Come here, let me
get
go.
off.
Dee.
Hey, you think maybe it's time to let them out? I love it when a plan comes together.
Please welcome Diane Parish.
No, I'm not. My bum's killing me.
Oh,
really
Have you
bad.
ever been injured in such a similar way?
I haven't. I sort of, when I'm drunk, all my senses work a little bit better for me, and I'm actually a bit more sort of...
Are you a bit sharper?
I'm like that, yeah, a bit more careful. I'm a bit more wary of people and things.
Yeah, but sometimes it can work in your favour, you see, because if I hadn't have been slightly drunk when I fell down those stairs, I might have broken lots of bones.
Yes,
but
because
because I was a bit
like
ragged
a baby
on.
when a baby falls.
Yeah, it probably softened the blow, and my bum certainly did. It took all
Bums
the
are good for that, aren't
Information you didn't really need to know there, don't you?
yeah, lunchtime.
And what about being bossy around your house? I can imagine you're a strong woman.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, I am, sort of thing. I mean, I do boss, and I do say, can you put that in the dishwasher? Because it's just simple things, really. Yeah. You know, because I find that the things that are just simple. If you're cooking something and you finish with, put it straight into the dishwasher, and then you haven't got a humongous task.
How does he respond, though, to you, Diane, when you sort of boss him a
With
bit?
Neanderthal grunts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
yeah.
he?
Yeah.
You do it, though.
I'm doing it, I'm doing it.
That is how Neanderthal people
And yet,
it's not done.
he recently proposed, and you're...
He did, yes, he did.
Are you romantic?
It weren't romantic, really, because I didn't know what was going on. I was pregnant at the time. This was last year, and I was pregnant. And yeah, and so we was in a restaurant. I thought, what brought me here for? It was a horrible restaurant. It was in Farringdon. It was a French menu, and I didn't understand a word. And I was, what's this about? And he went like this with a napkin. I went, get off, and I threw it back. And he went, no. I went, get off. And then I lifted up the napkin, and I thought, oh. And then there it was, this little box.
So it's nearly a year ago, then?
It's nearly a year ago now.
You still haven't got a date to get... No?
Did you ever say to him, why did you take me to the worst restaurant in the world to propose to me?
I did. It was full of fellas. There were fellas everywhere. It was all suits. It was a bit... It weren't really...
Not romantic, really.
No, it wasn't very romantic.
Oh, he does his best.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you've no plans?
We've no plans. No, not yet. I've very recently had a child.
Yes, that's
Not
right.
that you noticed.
No. Well, you know, I've got
Figure-wise,
Spanx on.
blimey. Oh, I love them.
Got your support pants
Yeah,
on.
got my Spanx
So you've got... The little baby's one.
Little baby's one. She was one on Tuesday.
Right.
My little darling.
And you've got a slightly older one?
Older one is 3.
Right. So you
Kenya.
have got your hands full, and the EastEnders schedule as well.
And the EastEnders schedule. I mean, the EastEnders, they've been great, you know.
Have they
when
got a crash there still, Diane? Because
They had a nursery. They had a little nursery around the corner from it, but it's been, I think, closed down.
Right.
And my first one went there for about 3 weeks. Less said about that, the better. And then, and this one, she's sort of been at home more because they were great. When I first went back, I was in for 2 days, off for 2 weeks, in for a day, off for another 3 weeks.
Right.
Off. Can I work? Can I get something to do?
Yeah.
And then it was great. And then now I've started to get a bit heavier. Recent storylines have been a bit...
Yeah, I mean, it's been a hell of a year for your character.
I what you'd be getting back with. I couldn't stand the sight of him when he turned up.
And then all of a sudden, he's God's gift now, isn't he? And I'm with him.
Well, he's totally reformed, isn't he? Completely.
Well, he's found God.
Yes.
Yes.
And he's given it all up. Yeah, found him somewhere.
Yes, he did, and he's given it all up. But it's great because Don Gillette plays him. We're mates. We're like really good mates, and so we spend a lot of time having a giggle and a laugh.
He's lovely, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, he's lovely. Yeah,
but she's bossy, isn't she, Denise?
She's right on this bossy
is
bit,
really-
isn't she?
She really is bossy, though, isn't she? Yeah.
She's feisty, she knows her own mind, and she's got things to say, and she's not frightened
She
to
hardly
say
ever
them.
says them, though. She shouts them all the time.
Do you think she
She
shouts?
must
Must
be
be the name Denise.
Yeah,
My director calls me Disease. He calls me Disease.
Are we actually going to have a happy Christmas Day on the square, or would that be going against tradition?
Of course it would. But no, I mean, the thing is, you know, EastEnders always tackles issues, and it tackles, I think, tackles them well. And the natural climax is usually Christmas. The natural time to bring things to a head is Christmas and New Year, and that's, you know, all the things that have been building up with various characters over the year will be brought to a head at Christmas.
And what about your mate Joe Swash being the new king
Oh,
of the jungle?
yes, little Joe.
Were you all
Little
rooting
Joe.
for him?
We were really rooting for him. He was the talk of the makeup room for ages. And,
He's so lovely, though, isn't he?
Oh,
He
he's
was
got
totally
and
himself.
absolutely. That is the person on there in that jungle chewing them chewy things.
Was he that
was
kissy on EastEnders?
Oh, he is. I
Is he
brought my
all
baby when I
kissy?
first joined EastEnders. I brought my baby in. The older one, I brought her in, and Joe was, oh, and he kissed her on the mouth, straight on the gob like that. I was like, he ran off with her up the corridors. And ran off with her. And but he's like that. He's a very, you know, he is like that. He's very comfortable, like he says, with his sexuality, and he's a lad's lad as well. He likes his football. But he's also, you have a conversation with him, he cares. He wants to know about what's happening with you and your day. And so his relationship with George Takei...
Completely genuine.
Oh my,
yeah.
It's not Takei. Or
You say to Key, I say to Kai. Either way, we're out of time. But thank you so much for joining us, Diane Parish, everyone.